Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here in case anyone is curious and kind of fill in the blanks on why YouTube is demonetizing Black Lives Matter content. And it's actually even less complicated than I initially thought that it was. So I have been, if you don't know my background, I've been employed in the marketing field for not with Google, but like working in Google ads since like 2012. So I've seen the evolution of the platform and things like that since then. And basically, I've been employed by a lot of companies to run ads on their behalf in, Google search results, and YouTube is part of the AdWords platform. And so if advertisers do want to run video, they do it through the same Google Ads platform. So the issue that's happening here is that when we as creators make mention of something having to do with Black Lives Matter or any of the words that, you just don't know what YouTube has kind of built into the back of their algorithm as far as saying, because they're indexing our words. And they're also, if we put text on the screen or anything like that, even in our descriptions, I think comments are okay. I don't think you can get demonetized for comments, but basically it is super problematic because a lot of creators, this is their main source of income. And so we want to be able to keep creating content because it's our job, but at the same time, it makes us look really insensitive because we can't monetize our content if we make mention of what's going on unless we do it really, really carefully, which can also seem really insensitive. And two, this is a cause among, other causes as well in the past that this has happened to on YouTube that gets lumped into, controversial content, but it needs to be amplified through people who have built influence. Like, that's the freaking point, that's why we build influence, is not just to sell makeup, but also to be able to use our platforms to talk about things that need attention when those times come. And the fact that YouTube, it's not just YouTube. So I'm gonna screen record showing you guys what it looks like from the advertiser standpoint. I'll blur out anything to like anonymize the client or anything like that, but I wanna show you guys what the options are. So they used to be that you would open up this inventory box and it would show you like a bunch of different options. You could, turn your ads off of showing on gaming platforms because, kids play games and like slap clicks and things like that would spend a lot of advertiser money and obviously not drive any kind of engagement. And then there would be, different other things. There would be like, controversial news stories or really graphic content or, potentially polarizing, whatever. I can't remember. And I didn't realize how much they've actually simplified it. And so now all you see in content exclusions says define where your ads can show. You have the option to choose expanded inventory, standard inventory, or limited inventory. And it's hard to know from an advertiser's standpoint because here's the thing. From an advertiser's standpoint, they will get screenshotted sometimes if their ad shows on something that's really unpalatable. And a lot of people don't understand that the advertiser doesn't explicitly, you can, but it's it's rare. You can't explicitly choose the content that you want your ad to show on. You can only choose kind of like the type of content, and so there used to be even more options. Now there are very few options, but the whole thing is, you get caught as like on behalf of a brand, someone will screenshot, your ad showing up on like a white supremacist video or something like that, and it appears like an endorsement to the untrained eye, and that's terrifying as an advertiser, as you can imagine. And so people want to be as safe as they can in terms of showing on things that are super palatable. And that is why like YouTube talks about it being advertiser friendly, but it's not just YouTube, because it's also the choices that advertisers are making based on the options that they're given as to where they want their ads to show to the best of their ability. You do kind of get caught in the middle there, but I do think that the onus still falls on YouTube in this case, because here, I'll show you guys, like, compare inventory types. It says expanded inventory has everything, and that is why you are going to still on like limited ads videos, like Black Lives Matter videos, you'll still see like an ad at the beginning or an ad at the end. And that is because some advertisers have opted in, but most have opted out. And that's also, again, I want to reiterate, it's not because they've opted out of Black Lives Matter content, it's because they have chosen an inventory style that YouTube has decided doesn't include that, you know? And so they're gonna block the ads from showing on there because they don't wanna piss off the advertiser. So it says, you know, things that are blurred for nudity, romance, kissing, strong profanity, moderate profanity, light profanity, mild violence or injury without showing blood or graphic content, violence or graphic content in video games, focus on gore, blood, blah, 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 content with humorous references, education, music, and statements without glorifying or promoting drugs. Oh, with humorous references. Sorry. Drug consumption, fabrication, distribution in the context of music, comedy, news, education, or documentary, news, documentary, or education content with words that should be considered biased, demeaning, or hate speech against a race, religious, gender, or other group. And so there are a lot of ways to define those things, you know? And I don't know that YouTube is doing that good of a job of it, because I think that they're defining Black Lives Matter as potentially controversial. And I don't think that that's really fair. And I want to look at this. It says, video ad safety promise. Your ads are automatically excluded from showing on the most controversial content, which they deem profanity in the title or thumbnail, image, or profanity used repeatedly or throughout, full nudity, content showing abusing drugs, and content discussing terrorism or sensitive current events like war, death, or tragedy. Everybody is automatically blocked from that. So I don't know which one YouTube thinks that these things fall into. They are obviously coming down with a pretty blunt instrument there. I don't think that someone mentioning Black Lives Matter and someone standing up and trying to amplify Black voices and, you know, posting certain things in their content to support the cause and using their platform for good is the same thing as showing video that is like, you know, violent, that also has to do with the same movement, you know? And I totally understand from a viewer's standpoint that those two things are different too. I just think that we could be in an area here with YouTube where they are automatically classifying anything that mentions certain words, like maybe hashtag Black Lives Matter. Like there's no way to know as that automatically excluded. You know, this is your video ad safety promise, you know, the promise from YouTube and from the Google platform that like ads will never show on those kinds of things. But what that's doing is it's systemically suppressing certain voices from being heard. And it's not just happening to, the Black Lives Matter movement. You know, I have friends who make drag videos in the LGBTQI community, and they, you know, get demonetized just for talking about drag or talking about being gay or talking about any kind of causes that affect their lives that are in no way profane, and someone can know by the thumbnail whether or not they want to watch it. It's not like they're getting like duped into it and then suddenly they're watching something that's offending them. It's like, no, you know, this person clicked on this video because they want to learn more. That creator deserves to make money on their content. We're creators. This isn't a hobby, you know? We make content that we hope is valuable to our viewers. It's not just about you know, creators being greedy and needing to make money. It's about the fact that YouTube only wants us to make the most palatable content on their platform in order to make money, and that's problematic. And I don't actually know what the solution is, but I will tell you it's on YouTube. Before I kind of went in here and looked at this, I thought, okay, well, you know, there are a lot of options. Maybe we should just kind of like plea to advertisers to go into their platform and just like untoggle the sensitive issues toggle, and, you know, that be the end of it, and like let Black Lives Matter content through. But like they've simplified it so much that there's literally no option for advertisers to show on content discussing terrorism or sensitive current events like war, death, or tragedy. That's not okay. And I think that from just like my experience, you know, from both sides of the advertiser, you know what I mean? Like working for the advertiser, working as a creator, I think that there needs to be an option for advertisers that makes it a lot clearer what their inventory is going to be, where their ads are going to show. Because it's like, of course, when it says content discussing terrorism and sensitive content, that's just telling an advertiser like, no, I don't want to show on that. That sounds really, really bad. Of course I don't want to show on that. Well, thank goodness they've gone in there and made sure that my ads will never show. They're, good on YouTube. It's like, okay, but all of these advertisers are now on Instagram trying to do the right thing, for better or for worse. And I don't think that they necessarily would all wholesale object to their ads showing on that kind of content, and there needs to be a more detailed strategy from the back end of YouTube for people to opt in. So I just wanted to give you guys sort of a window into why it's happening, but also I wanted to draw attention to the fact that this is part of a systemic, an example of a systemic agreed upon, oh, that's a faux pas, oh, that's uncomfortable, gosh, don't we all just kind of like agree in solidarity that we don't want to make people uncomfortable? That's white privilege. That is the essence of it. And so, this is the kind of thing that, like, I don't know where my voice is sometimes, but if I can speak to the things that I know in the context that's important to me, this channel's not monetized anyway, so got you there, YouTube. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys and draw attention to it. And I want to figure out how we can like push this on YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? Like, get their attention. So maybe tweet it at them. I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. But thanks for watching. We can do a follow-up if y'all want. Ask any questions in the comments. And I will also leave links down below, the same way I have on my main channel, for ways that you can donate and help and vote and find your local representatives. And yeah, just trying to do as much as we can.